But in general, we had been talking about inspections the last couple episodes, and which is why I brought it up, is that when the market crashed and companies started to lean out, in other words, there wasn't as many tiers in companies, they started to flatten out and get wide, there's not as much movement, and they started trying to figure out how to do more with less, and the prevalence of industrial engineers being hired by companies started to increase, industrial engineers, process engineers, whatever you want to, process improvement specialists, whatever you want to call them. And the goal of mine was, hey, look, we need to get more efficient, right? We need to reduce the amount of waste that we're having, time, money, energy, whatever it happens to be, the number of defects we're producing. In other words, not necessarily something broken, but just something that the quality's lower, or it's just not sellable, or it's not to our standard, whatever it happens to be. And when you get more efficient, obviously there's less resources you need. But also with respect to safety, when we look at process, we want to look at things like how much are people moving. Movement is a huge issue when it comes to employees. How much are they physically moving? And is the process of their job process, causing them to move too much? Because now there's just not just basic fatigue you got to worry about, but there's overuse injuries, and then there's the more they do something, the further they have to go, the further you have to move something, the further you have to lift it. Now there's more propensity for injury and mistakes that happen. So do we have those process engineers in our companies, or do we have people coming in third party just to say, hey, can you just give us a once over on our processes? Now you probably have to focus them in a particular area. You can't just say, can you check out all the processes of our company? Because there's just so much, everything has a process. Everything is process oriented. I mean, we have a process of taking a shower in the morning, and we're generally creatures of habit. If you actually document your process, it's one of the exercises. This is the very first exercise I do in my class, my operations management class, is I have everybody take out a piece of paper and say, write down your process of taking a shower. All right, and then when we add up and how long it takes, it goes anywhere from 5 minutes to 50 minutes in some cases. And the moral of that exercise is we all understand what the process, we understand what taking a shower is. And everybody goes, yeah. Well, then how do we have so much divergence between 5 minutes and 50 minutes if we all know what taking a shower is? It's because the process of getting there can be drastically different. There's a lot of variance and there's a lot of factors that we don't think about. And if you don't understand a very specific goal and it's vague, now the process can have a lot of divergence and variation. And if you look at our job site, if you tell somebody, go pour that concrete, well, how are they going to do that? Everybody's probably going to do it a little bit different.
Yep.
So if you have a lot of variation in that process, now there's more opportunity for error. And when there's opportunity for error, now you have opportunity for injuries. So it's like, what are the processes looking like? How much are we making these people move? Is that person that has to pick the box up and load it, are they walking 20 yards with it every time? Or can we figure out a way that they only have to walk 5 yards with it? Because over the course of a day, a month, a year, how much movement do we cut down on? Right? And how much less wear and tear do we have on that person? And more importantly, how much productivity can we increase? If they're carrying it a third of the way, that's 2 to 3 times as many boxes as they can load as they could, and they're moving less on top of it. So I'm getting more productivity and I'm positioning them to be safer in the process, right?